Good morning, fifth graders. I hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. It was a warm one, so we went swimming a few times. I'm glad to see that people are here today, and I just wanted to share with you that today and this week is going to be a week of review and just remembering what we've been learning about fractions and division, and then by the end of the week, presenting a one-pager about what we have learned. So today is going to be quick review, and then we're going to have actually a pair deck to make sure that we're all doing okay. I kind of think of it like a ticket out the door, and then we will move on to reading at 11 o'clock today. So let's go ahead and get started. Good morning, everybody that's here. A couple of reminders is that there's a chat box, so I already see some of us are using it, so thank you for that. Good morning, I see Jesleen. Good morning, Freddie. Good morning, Emily and Juan. Take notes if you'd like. That might be helpful. Good morning, Michael. May the 4th be with you. And let's see. Our objectives for today. These are the 3 standards we've been working on. Interpreting fractions as a division problem, dividing a whole number by a fraction, and then the reverse of that, dividing a unit fraction by a whole number. So we've been working on that. You guys have been doing great. I can't wait to see how you guys do on the ticket out the door for the pair deck. Also because it's pair deck and we haven't done one in a while, and that's been something we usually use. So I'm excited to see how that goes this morning. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on my tablet some review questions, and then the final 3 questions are going to be the ticket out the door that you're going to actually go into pair deck and solve it. You don't have to go to pair deck now. You can wait until after the video, and then you can go ahead and give it a try, okay? There's a question about Tango. Tango is in the other room where the kids are doing their own work as well. So I'm going to leave him there today. We'll see. He might start barking soon because the gardener usually comes today and the pool man usually comes today. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so let's get started. Let me get my screen ready for us. Make it larger. So you will have the directions to this pair deck in our slide, just like any other day. And you have the code and everything. So there you go. So we've seen this question, I think, before, or something similar. And so here we go with our review. Let me get my little pen ready. All right, so hopefully this will be easy peasy for you because this is something we've been doing for a couple of days now. So I have 4 chocolates. I have 4 children and 6 candy bars. So then my question is, how much would each child get? So I like to pretend like I'm one of those kids because that helps me think about, what would I actually get? Kind of motivates me a little bit more. So trying to do this with the equation first, thinking about how a fraction is a division problem. I'm going to kind of pause for a moment and give people that are online with me a chance to just tell me what the answer is, what you think it is, before I go ahead and write it out. I'm not seeing much. Let's see. I'm doing not sandwiches, Freddie. Chocolate bars. All right, well, I'm going to get started because I'm not seeing anybody's brains awake yet. So let's see. So I have 4 children, 6 candy bars. So I start with, what are we sharing? We're sharing the candy bars. So how many do we have? We have 6. Divided by how many people we have? We have 4 people. If I'm going to rewrite this, as a fraction, I would write 6 divided by 4. And just thinking about, well, that makes sense because that's greater than 1. It's more than 4/4, so it's greater than 1, which also makes sense. That means I will get more than just 1 full candy bar. I get 1 candy bar and some. Okay, so let me go ahead and find the equivalent to the 6/4 by finding what we call AKA, or also known as, the equivalent. So if I pull out a 4/4 to make 1 whole, I still have 2/4 remaining, right? Because 4 plus 2 is 6, which makes that 6/4. So I have 1 whole candy bar and 2/4. I also know that 2/4 is also known as a half. So another way to write this would be 1 and 1/2. So I would get 1.5 candy bars. Let me prove it with the model. So if I'm looking at, now I'm seeing the answers. Well done. If I'm looking at the candy bars and I'm like, okay, well, this guy gets this one, I start to divvy them up and I end up with 2 chocolate bars full at the end that I need to now divide into for these 4 people. So then I'm just going to quickly divide this into 4 by just making it like this. And then this one guy will get a piece from this candy bar and a piece from this candy bar. And so will everybody else. So 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you, 1 for you. It's getting all messy now. 1 for you, 1 for you. So thinking about just this one person, how much does he get? Well, he gets this 1 candy bar, and he gets 1/4 from this bar and 1/4 from this bar, which would make 2/4. So 1 and 2/4, also known as 1 1/2. Boom. All right. Oh, where'd it go? Let me erase it. Let's review. Actually, these are actually the same review, the next 2 that we did on Friday. So if you were, no, not Friday, Thursday. If you're with us, you already know how to do this. All right, so I'm going to kind of go through it kind of quickly because, again, this is review. 4 students sitting at a table were given 1/3 of a pan of cornbread to share equally. What fraction of the whole pan of cornbread will each student get if they, I didn't fix the typo, if they share the remaining cornbread equally? I'm going to give you a moment to see if you can do that in your head. Picture the equation that you would have, and then write out what your answer would be if you can. So think of it like mental math. All right, let's think about what are we starting with? We're starting with 1/3 of a pan of cornbread. And then we're going to share that equally among how many people? 4 kids. So that is the division equation that we're working on. So hopefully that's what you pictured in your head. Now thinking about, okay, what kind of answer will we get? Well, if I started with less than 1 whole, then my answer will be less than 1 whole because I'm going to divide it, which means my pieces are going to get smaller. So then we looked at last week also looking at these numbers to give us that kind of shortcut to coming up with the answer. So if I'm looking at 3 times 4, that means 3 times 4 is 12, and I'm only going to get 1 piece out of that. So my answer would be 1/12. If I were to prove this with a model, I can draw my rectangle pan of cornbread, divide it into thirds, and I'm talking about just this 1/3 piece that's sitting over here, because that's what we're starting with. So let's say that's what's left over, and I have 4 people that I need to divide that piece into so that 4 people can have it. So let me divide that into 4ths going the other direction. And this 1 piece up here would be the serving size for 1 person, which would be 1 piece, which is why this is a 1, out of a total of 12 if they were all cut that way. Okay, so that's a review of that one. Let's see how we're doing. So Jocelyn, we're going to make sure that we're thinking about, are we going to get a whole number to end with or a fraction to end with, right? So if we're starting with a fraction, we're starting with a part of the tray, not a full tray. Okay, so let's do one more review, which is going to be another word problem. And these are also going to be in your pear deck, but you don't have to solve them. This is just for you to review and see them with me, okay? The next couple I'll show you in a moment. That'll be what you do for your ticket today. All right, so this one is Jose is buying 4 pounds of candy. So when you go to the candy store, like a really big one, they might make you measure your candy out and put them in a bag, kind of like what you might do if you went to the grocery store with fruits and vegetables. Well, with candy, sometimes that works that way. So you can weigh the candy and get the candy that you would like. You can mix and match, get different bags, that kind of thing. So he wants to give each of his friends 1/5 of a pound. So that means he buys 4 pounds of candy, he takes it wherever, and then he's going to think, okay, I'm going to divide this into 1/5 pound pieces. So then how many friends will he be able to serve if he does that, right? So think about the equation before I write it out. Think about what would the equation be. Jocelyn, I'll tell you your homework at the end, or your work today, okay? Think about the equation, picture it in your head. Think about what you're starting with. What are you dividing it into? All right. So what are we starting with? We're starting with 4 pounds of candy. 4 pounds of candy. And he's going to serve his friends, but they're not going to get a whole pound each. He's going to serve them 1/5 pound sizes, or serving sizes. So divided by 1/5 size pieces, or serving sizes. So then we're trying to figure out how many servings would we be able to make. That's what this one's asking. How many will we be able to make? So we can look at this, 4 times 5, and I know it's 20, but is it going to be 20 servings or 1/20th servings? What do you guys think? Is it going to be 20, whole number, or 1/20th, 1/20? Okay, so we're starting with the whole number, 4, divided into 1/5 size pieces. We would get 20 serving sizes if we did it that way. Thank you, Michael. So really quick, I'll just draw out, let's say that these are my 4 bags, and each bag has a pound. So we have got 4 pounds here. And I'm dividing that into, oh, you don't see them all because my face is over one of them. I will draw it up here. Let me erase the one that you can't see anyways. Okay. All right, so there's my 4 pounds. I pretty much just put 1 pound per bag, and I'm going to divide this into 5 because it's 1/5 size pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm drawing 4 lines because that'll give me 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's all those are cut into fifths, 1/5 size pieces. So then my question is, how many fifths are there? And I just have to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There are 20 pieces like that. Okay? Freddie, that's good. You rarely eat candy. Me too, except for chocolate. I have a weakness for chocolate. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and clear this out. So that is going to be the 3 types of questions you will see in this Pear Deck. The first 3 are the ones I just did with you, so if you want to see those again. And then I'm actually in the Pear Deck slides right now, so I'm going to show you what those questions will look like. Your ticket out the door number 1 looks like this. And it's going to be a multiple choice. And then number 2 looks like this. Another multiple choice as well. So you're going to do the work on a piece of paper, whatever you need, or if you can do it mentally, that's fine too. And I'm just looking for your answer today, okay? So I want to see how we're doing. And then the third one looks like this. So there are 3 questions you're going to do. You have the code there, but also the code is in the slides that you need. And we have done this many, many times, so I know you won't have any trouble getting to the Pear Deck. Joinpd.com, and the code is there. It's also in the screen, in the slides. I also put a special link into the slides because Pear Deck did a little upgrade that it might work out that if you click on the link for Pear Deck, it's going to take you straight to the slides without having to put the code in. Not sure if it's going to work because it's something new, but maybe you guys can let me know if that works out or not. Okay, let me get everything else cleared out and ready for the final directions. All right, let's see. Alrighty. Oh yay, it actually followed my directions and stayed on my screen. All right, so your Pear Deck is going to be your work today for math. That's it. If you notice in the slides, I did simplify them a little bit because this week is kind of a wrapping up week. So there's going to be this Pear Deck. We're going to be making a 1-pager later in the week. So I'm excited to see how those come out, but don't worry about that until tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how you're doing. And if you're struggling with this, then maybe we can get onto Flipgrid and ask me a question. I can respond and kind of help you out. All right, so let me know if you need support. At 11 o'clock, I'll be back on for a reading lesson, and today we're going to be comparing 2 texts. So the 2 texts we've been reading, we're going to compare the 2. What's the difference between the styles and what those 2 texts had to say, and that's what our job will be today during reading time. So hopefully you have plenty of time to get the math done, and then I'll see you back at 11 o'clock. Let me just check our comments to see if there's any last-minute questions. It is on student pace mode. Actually, Pear Deck did a slight upgrade that as soon as I logged in or presented this, it asked me, do you want it to be student paced or not? And in the past, I always had to go myself down to the student pace, but today it was right away. So it should be good to go. Oh, and there goes that. Freddie, I'm not sure what you said. You can't see. So let me know if you need more help. Okay? All right, guys. I will see you soon. I will see you at the 11 o'clock hour. Join me then. Bye. Have a great day.